Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depends on when you're listening to this, but my name's Terry. Welcome to Tuesday with Terry. Talking to you live from Austin, Texas, where the sun is hot, the barbecue is fantastic, and all the drinks are free on over here. Come on over and visit us anytime you want. You know, tis the season, as they say. It's the holiday season. It's upon us. And I was thinking about what to talk about or what to chat about with you today, and I thought I'd maybe go through a couple things with you. And I try a few different things today, but I usually the end of the year, holidays and the new year is certainly a time to reflect. It's a time to look back. It's a time to think about the past 12 months and, what went well. And I want to pretend that it's just you and me and here in the studio, and we're having a chat, we're having a talk, and we're talking a little bit about you and what you want to do in your life and what you may want to do in your career or with your relationships. And all I'm going to do through this period of time, I'm just going to ask you some questions. And I want you to just to think about those questions internally. If you want to take out a blank sheet of paper and you'd like to jot down some answers to those, it might be helpful as we go through this. I'd like to ask you a couple questions. And first one I want to ask you is, let's get a little bit perspective on you. Is, where have you been? Why are you here? And where are you going? Have you given that much thought? With your life, with your work, maybe with your relationships, with your finances. If you had to do it all over again, would you do it all over again? And what would that look like? What lessons have you learned recently? What lessons have you learned in the last year? Let me ask you this question. What's the future that you see for you? What's the next 6 months look like for you? What's the next 12 months, 2 years look like? Why'd you tune in to Tuesday with Terry today? What brought you here? What motivated you to get up this morning? You didn't have to get up this morning, but you chose to get up. What made you get up this morning? Are you in the middle of trying to find yourself? Figure out who you are, who you want to be, what the person is you want to become? Are you trying to figure out what your highest and best use is in your life? Are you accepting things just the way they are? Are you following a crowd? Or are you marching to the beat of a different drum? Are you winning right now? If I had to ask you, are you winning in your relationships? Are you winning in your finances? Are you winning in your career? Are you winning in your workouts? Are you winning in your health? Are you winning? Are you choosing the life that you want to live? What life are you choosing? What's that look like? Just want you to think a little bit about some of those pieces. When your battery's all run down or your battery runs low, what do you do to charge it up again? And are you aware, self-aware that these things need to happen? Do you have the will to change? Do you want to change? Do you have the discipline in order to make those changes? Are you kind of just punch drunk going through your day and today's the same as yesterday and nothing ever really changes until you get to the weekends and thank God it's Friday, right? Has your life become meaningless just flipping through channels at night or during the day or on the weekends? What's your heart telling you? Is your heart saying, I can do no more? Or is your heart saying, I really see an opportunity for change? I talked about self-awareness, but let me ask you these couple of questions. Are you willing to work on yourself? Are you willing to invest in yourself? What does that mean? Investing in time in yourself, time in your workouts, time to learn, time to change your attitude, time to talk to a mentor, time to do something different. Are you willing to put in the effort? You've heard me say nobody can do your push-ups for you, but are you willing to put in the effort? Are you reading? What are you reading right now? Are you listening? Are you exercising? Are you working out? You got good blood flow, good oxygen going to your brain, so you're making the best decisions right now that you ever have in your life? Even when you don't feel like doing any of that I just mentioned, do it anyway. You'll feel 100 times better when it's done. You know, one of the things about developing yourself is a lot of times we have this internal dialogue and it's negative talk or it's negativity. Zig Ziglar, I think, calls it stinking thinking. You know, we say things like, that's not going to work, or I'm too busy. That's the one I say a lot. I'm too busy. I don't feel like it today. Put it off till tomorrow. Procrastination, right? We procrastinate. I'm not going to do that because I started a workout program in the past, or I started a diet in the past, or I tried to quit smoking in the past and it didn't work. Why should I start now? And again, question is, are you settling? Are you settling in your relationships? In your career? If you're a salesperson, are you settling with your potential? You know you're capable of better. You know you can get more leads. You know you can make more calls. You know you can set more appointments. You can close more deals and make more commissions. But it's good enough. What are you doing? What are you really doing? As you think about yourself and you think about going through life, let me ask you this question. Who are you going through your life with? Who helps you stay motivated through it all? Do you have some heroes? Do you have some people that have done it, have been there? Is there somebody you can call on when you need a helping hand? Is there somebody that you can lean on when you need a little support? What do you really desire? So just to wrap it up, let me kind of summarize this and just say kind of 10 quick review pieces. What gets you excited? And are you staying close to the things that you want? Are you putting in the effort? And are you working hard enough? You're the only one to blame. If it's not you, then who is responsible for you? Are you getting the time and attention you need in your relationships? Are you really out there looking for that opportunity? Are you a hunter or farmer? Have you found that mentor? Most people quit right before the breakthrough. Are you fully on purpose every day of your life? Are you hungry? And are you spending your time protecting what you have or spending your time trying to get what you want? You know, when my daughter was 7 years old in New Jersey, I moved to Tampa, Florida. And we had an agreement with my boss at the time that I could, every weekend, I could leave a little earlier on Friday and I would get back a little bit later on Monday, and I would be able to fly from Tampa, Florida to Newark, New Jersey, get a rental car, pick my daughter up, drive a couple hours to my parents' house in Pennsylvania, spend the weekend, and then on Sunday night, turn around and do it all backwards. And I did that for 7 years without exception, every other weekend. And I'm not saying or telling you that story to tell you, oh, look at me, look at me. I'm telling you that story because I was committed to doing something for a long period of time that was, and I would call it a sacrifice in the short term for long-term results. And my relationship with my daughter probably wouldn't be what it is today unless I had made that commitment. And so what happens is when you start thinking about your life and you start thinking about your career and your finances and your relationship, and you think about the things that you want to do, one of the questions you're going to come across is it worth it? Is it worth all of this effort? Is it worth all of this discipline? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? And I'm going to tell you this, man, if you love it enough, if that's where your heart is and you really love it, it is so worth it. It's worth it. My name's Terry. Thanks for tuning in. 30 days from now, I want you to listen to this episode again and see what actually has changed and how you might answer those questions a little bit differently. Thanks for tuning in. See you next Tuesday.